Good morning. Hey, I did it. Got here by morning time. I actually was able to get some stuff going. And now I can get some other things going, get some work doing, some work done. Today I'm going to try something different. I haven't done this streaming yet, and that's using Pomodoro time. I like Pomodoro time because it breaks things up a bit. Let's make sure I have all my stuff set here. Programming. We got hashtag tags, and we got I'm doing Blazor. And I'm doing API web API. How about web Auth API? And we're doing .NET with a little Pomodoro. How's that, Pomodoro? Okay, so I don't know if you've ever heard of Pomodoro technique. I guess it is. It's a time management technique that helps you to focus. You pick a time. 25 minutes is usually the standard. You can see here on this thing on toggle, it defaults to 25, which is kind of the norm. At the end of 25 minutes, you get a 5-minute break. It's not much, but it's a thing. Now, what I've done in the past is do like 30 minutes and a 10-minute break. Sometimes 25 doesn't seem long enough to focus. So sometimes I change it up. Today I'm going to go with the 25.5 for now. I'm going to work until about noon, 1 o'clock, depending on how things go. And then once the timer's up, there's usually like 5 sets of 25, and then you get like a 15-minute break. I like to do 30 and 10, and see, because normally 25 is 52, so you basically get 10 minutes every hour. So I'll do like 35 and 10. And then 35 and 10 is 45 minutes. You don't get as much time in there. You still only get 10 minutes within the hour, but you get a little bit more time as you wrap into the next, right? So you're going to be somewhere. You're going to get a little extra-ish time, I think, if my math is correct. And then I like to do like a 20-minute break at the end, or even a half an hour at the end of 5 in a row. So it takes a little longer to get there. So you're doing 45-minute intervals. You're doing 5, and then that's 3-4 hours. You're basically taking lunch, right, at the end of that, and then you do it again. If you're doing 25 and 5, it's every 30, so it's every 2.5 hours. You're getting a 15-minute break. So after 5 hours, you're at your 30 minutes comes after 5 hours, right? But you're only getting 15 minutes, so it's not very long of a break. Now, I assume this does the 5-minute interval. I've never used Toggle's Pomodoro. But the whole point is to give you a window that's set for you to take care of other things. That's emails, just get up and walk around, if you want to browse something. And you can usually have like a note on the side. Okay, so like if something comes up and you're like, oh, I got to do this. But you could say, okay, I got 15 minutes. Just write it on the note. And then when your 5 minutes is up, you go deal with that during the 5 minutes. Problem is, for me, 5 minutes is kind of short. I mean, you get up, go to the bathroom, walk back if you need to go to the bathroom. You could check emails, but 5 minutes is barely enough time to respond to them, right? Like, it's only so much. You can't make a quick phone call in 5 minutes because a lot of times your phone calls are going to take 10 minutes or more, It's hard to get a lot done, or get anything done in 5 minutes. That's why I like to do longer with a 10-minute break. But today, we'll do 5 because I don't really have anything going on. I do have things I want to do. I kind of screwed my back up. I don't know what I did. Don't ask. So, in the past, I've kind of injured my lower back a little bit. And it's I did it doing squats, doing bent over rows, doing aerobics. I did that once, where I was doing a lot of donkey kicks during the aerobics. It was and I've done all these things many times. But sometimes I overdo it, or sometimes my muscles are a little stressed, and boom, I do something to my back. And this time, it's been a little sore for a couple of days. A little bit, just tiny amounts. It was kind of irritating. Then yesterday, I did something and it just went, that's it. So I don't know, it was a little strange to me because it wasn't actually triggered by any one thing. It just slowly got worse from whatever point it was at. So I don't know what's going on. I may have to get it checked. If you get it, if I injure myself, working out, I'm like, okay, well, rest, take it easy, let the muscles recover, you know, that kind of thing. But if I do it in kind of an unidentifiable form, I mean, yeah, I aggravated playing pickleball last night to the point where it got really bad. But that wasn't the trigger point. It was already kind of there. And all I did was, you know, push it over the edge. So I'm more curious why it was on the edge and why it was so long, because I felt like I was not pressuring my back or putting extra load on it. So there was no discernible cause to what happened. Anyway, let's do this. All right, so I'm currently working on my side-by-side applications, React and Blazor, using Auth, .NET Auth API. I am currently doing Blazor as I'm trying to integrate my Auth API into my Blazor app. One of the things I'm going to do right out the gate is it's time for me to commit. I changed the name in my head, and in some things I was calling it Ultimate Community Ladder, where I started off calling it the Ultimate Neighborhood Ladder. You know, what's going on in your neighborhood? But I like community. It's easier to spell. When you're typing, it's shorter, slightly shorter than neighborhood. And it just has a better ring to it. And community doesn't have to be, neighborhood feels smaller than community. A community is just a people, a grouping of friends. Neighborhood implies people who are near you, you know, like the people in your neighborhood. Community is just a community of friends. You can have people gather. It's a community feeling. It could be anywhere. You know, it's just everybody who has your interests near and can be together with you as a community. So, you know, you got your church community, you got your tennis community, you got all these things, but they're like not necessarily a neighborhood, right? So, it's just, you know, trying to play it out by the semantics and of course how it feels. And so I'm changing all of it, so everything. So all of my code on a lot of this is actually called UCL. I think I may have even changed some of the stuff in here. Oh, not here, but the cookie name. A lot of what I'm still doing is using abbreviations such as UCL, which is Ultimate Community Ladder. But you can see the name of my solution is Ultimate Neighborhood Ladder, the original name. And I still have Ultimate Neighborhood coming up as my React name as well, because again, I created it that way. But the code, when I come up with it, like my, you know, there's certain strings and connections and databases, and all are using UCL as the name. So it's time for me to commit. So we're going to rename my solution. Rename. Let's see what happens when I rename. Let's see what blows up when you do this. UCL. It's just going to be UCL Web. It's the only difference. So when I make this change, it should propagate it, as in my projects should pick that up. We'll see. Because I call my namespaces is what I believe. It's a minor change, but it's time for everything to acknowledge the change. Oh, wasn't there a sync namespaces? Let's do that. I don't know what that does, but let's make sure everybody's in sync. All right, well, let's just do it. Sounds good to me. Let's see what broke or gets broken by my doing this. Hopefully nothing, but it is possible something gets out of whack. How good is this auto synchronization of namespaces? I'm going to rename my solution as well. ultimate. Community letter. See, shorter and easier to spell. COMMUNITY, neighborhood, NEIGHOB, no, NEIGHBORHOOD. See, not easier. Yes, you can spell it correctly. It's just, and is that supposed to be, that'd be, and it's spelled wrong too, right? Neighborhood, NEI, it's not NIE, which is supposed to be I before E, except after C, and in some other cases, the other times when it's not. Neighborhood, I before E, except after C, and those other times when it's not. I think is the saying. All right. What do we got going here? Let's, everybody's, let's just go ahead and do a quick save all, get everything up to speed. Let's go ahead and start my timer, shall we? I am going to try to use toggle track, 25 minutes on. And, oops, did I don't know. General integrations. I am using ClickUp right now. It's already on, so. There are some others. I don't know which ones are good. I mean, there's Codebase. I don't know what the Codebase is. Clubhouse. These are all interesting. It's all curious to me what other integrations I can do. Like, can you integrate? It'd be cool if you could integrate actually with your, like here, we got visualstudio.com, but I'm not using that. Visual Studio, Azure DevOps, Azure.com. Visual Code is obviously not one. But why would I need to, how would you even integrate with visualstudio.com? How would that work? I mean, what do you do on visualstudio.com? Is that actually, like, is there a web version of Visual Studio I'm unaware of? Azure DevOps, that's interesting. But again, I don't know how that works. What if I do that? Productive Time Tracker has requested additional permissions. The extension could read and change. All right, well, I don't know what that's going to do, but we're going to try it. Enable all, just whatever. Give it all to me. I don't know what Visual Studio Dev. I did try to set up an Azure Dev account, but I do need to actually start a timer. Let's get going here. I don't even know how to. I haven't used this in a while, so excuse me if I don't know what I'm doing. So it is a very strong possibility that I am. I think the Pomodoro automatically starts. What are you working on? Stream improvement, skills improvement. We'll do skills improvement. And there we go. Timer's off and running. Let's call this a description. Blazor. Auth Web API integration. There we go. I don't know what that's going to do. Hopefully it's counting correctly, and in 25 minutes I'm going to hear a beep. We'll see. All right, so we did that. Shouldn't need to worry about that guy. I don't know how some of this works. My thought is maybe I have to leave that open. Dang it, stop it. See, it's going that way. See, I may be doing this wrong. I don't know. Because is that a Pomodoro timer? I didn't actually read the entire thing on how to enable a Pomodoro timer. I just read that piece. But it's supposed to be a countdown timer, I thought, instead of what I'm working on. So, yeah. Oh, interesting. It shows it at the top. Huh. See, it puts it up in the header. That's cool. But I still don't know how I... yeah, well, you know, I want to... All right, let's see here. Pomodoro. I would like to start adding, start using Azure DevOps, the free version, but I've been, you know, there's a little bit of learning curve trying to how to integrate it for your free stuff or for your personal use. See, I don't know. Browser extension. Just shows, what does it say? Start a Pomodoro timer when you start a time entry. At the end of the Pomodoro interval, you'll receive a notification to take a break. Oh, yeah, maybe it's going. But then they said stop timer at the interval, focus mode. Display a countdown instead of the recent entries list while a Pomodoro interval is active. See, I don't... Oh well. We'll see. We'll see what it does. Okay, so we'll give it 25 minutes. See what happens. All right, so where was I? I was trying to integrate and I had some errors and I decided I was going to stop and finish up trying to solve those errors today. Because I kind of got to a point where I got all the code in place to integrate my application with my Auth API. All the code was there, but some stuff stumbled. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll come back to it. So I actually was able to start the process of logging in to my API. And that's when things kind of went, we'll think about it. I was having trouble getting my console to show my log entries. So I'm doing something wrong there too. So I haven't quite figured out the whole log entry process for, I've got errors. Yay, what happened? Probably has to do with my namespace. Yeah. That didn't update. Let's do a rebuild. First things first, right? Get the rebuild to work. All started. Got some errors, things blowing up. What's going on? Why? What? Why is there a big old gap between all these things? That's weird. That was strange. I don't know why that existed. Why is there... What? Weird. What's going on, man? It's like it injected a tab into my stuff. Huh. That is some bizarrety. That was part of the conversion of changing the name of my project? Do not understand that. Huh. Okay. Let's try this again. Now, oftentimes when I work by myself and I'm not streaming, I do find that I like sound. You know, it's just so quiet sometimes, and it's really kind of hard to to focus. It's almost like I like to put music on, but you're not allowed to play music that's good. I guess I could put a headset in, just something to, but then it's like I'm talking over my sound in my head. I don't know. What else? I mean, what kind of sounds could be made that my streaming things wouldn't yell at me for? App cannot be found. All right, so, hey, Richard Alban, how you doing, man? I changed the name of my app, so everything broke. I said I needed to change it because I was tired of calling it the wrong thing, and it was time to change. So now I am paying the price for making this change. Woo! That did. Okay, so I thought some of this would happen. How am I making out? Well, overall, pretty good. I did. Yesterday, I finally got all the code in place, I think, to get my Blazor app integrated with my web API. However, I was getting an error at the end of the day, and because I had done the login, and I was also struggling with getting my console to show the log entries I put in. So I don't know if I wasn't hitting those lines, because I only put a few in, or if I set up my log wrong. I'll find out shortly once I get past all of my renaming application stuff. This is why you don't rename your app, but you have to sometimes. It's too early in the progress to be stuck with a name I'm not happy with, and it's pretty minor. Like I said at the beginning of my stream, I mentioned I was changing the name to community instead of neighborhood for a lot of reasons, but why is it doing this? Where are these spaces coming from, and why is it doing that? That is so bizarre. Well, it added these spaces into my usings, and it's like it just did it. Why? Don't know what it's doing. This is so strange. And of course it's a bug, but it's like I didn't put those in there. It just, when I changed the name of the UCL from UNL to UCL, it added spaces. Like there's like, it thinks that's I don't know, man. That's a bug of some kind. That should not be happening. Okay, let's see. No, wait, is it putting them back? Am I just going in circles here? Wait a minute. What app is this? Index Razor. All right, we're gonna find out. Better not be seeing another one for Index Razor. And reset authenticator Razor. Set password. Now, God, I tell you, this is like so weird. Really? Okay, well, good to know. I mean, it's good to know that I'm not nuts. But it keeps... All right, wait a minute. Let's just do this. Let's try something a little creative here. And we're just going to do a replacing files with using. Wow, I was going to do that 46 more times if I had done that the wrong way. Okay, so those are gone. Oh, well, yeah. It was actually more like a tab though, right? It was like tab plus space. It was... because I deleted the tab, but it left a space, so it was doing some weird thing. But yeah, I basically just did that. And good thing, 46 times would have been a whole lot of times to go through that. Okay, let's try this again. Now we're still getting weirdness. What is going on? And this is all from renaming my app. Because I UCL Web UI client, UCL Web client. Oh, it's probably because it can't find it now because I changed the name and it's probably referencing things all weird now. Yeah. That's what you get for renaming projects. It's never as simple as just renaming the project. What's the path on this? I have a feeling I changed the path name in the app, but it's not changed here. Yeah, that's what I thought. My folder names are different now. Are not pathed out right. All right. So in order for this to work, I don't want any. I'm going to torture myself. I'm going to continue doing a torture of myself. I'm going to rename the folders and see what happens to everything. I'm just getting. I can't live with this because I am going to be dwelling on this forever and ever. So I got to close this. I'll just reconnect it. But everybody has got to be named correctly. So we're going all the way to the top with this one. So it's not. Just changing this guy out completely. Ultimate. Community ladder. I'm almost tempted just to change it to UCL everywhere. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, that's not so hard to remove and include them again. But yeah, let's just do it. It's probably not the best way to do this one, but I'm just going to call it UCL. I'm going to simplify it though, because it's just easier to remember that. But I don't want. I mean, the main folder could be called Ultimate Community Ladder. After that, it's just going to be called UCL, except for within the text where it needs to be. All right. Everybody's going to be broken. That's right. I'll figure it out. This is a minor fix. And it's better to do it now when I'm early in the project than later when I've created a bunch of crap and I don't want to. This is in the early days of my project's existence, and these kind of changes need to be done before you'll never be able to go back. Okay. So this guy is going to be broken, but we'll open him anyway. Yeah, some things, I mean, I noticed that when I do some renames in React, it seemed to be a little better with that. I don't know if that was Visual Studio Code or React that was doing that, but it renamed a little cleaner. But then again, I don't know that I renamed it all the way up the line like I'm doing here. So I'm going to have to do that with my React app too. So I got to go through that pain there too. But when I switch back over and work on the React stuff, I will do that there. Okay, so let's go here. Today I also decided, I don't know if you saw the part where I was talking about Pomodoro. It's in my text. Add existing project. No. Why is that so weird? Git repos. Ultimate Community Ladder. Why? Oh, you know what? This shouldn't even be called Web UI. It should be UCL Web and UCL Web. If I'm going to rename it, better do it now. It's not UCL Web UI. It's UCL Web and UCL Web Client, which is the UI. Generally, right? It's the front end. So here. This guy and add him back. I wonder how my Git's gonna get messed up by all this. My Git's going, whoa, whoa, you're just destroying everything. What are you doing? All right, so I got everything back. You would think that they could make that nicer, huh? But I don't know. What? There's probably some serious complexities to renaming stuff. Well, you know, for one, a rename isn't going to rename your folders for you. So you're still going to be kind of screwed up with the folder thing. You're still going to have to do this to fix your folder paths. But at least the application itself should be able to be updated in a way where it can set the stuff that's going to be affected by that. I mean, you change a project name to UCL Web, the obvious thing is all the code that says UCL Web should be changed to whatever the new web is, or well, whatever the old one is to UCL Web. I mean, that's like an obvious update. I mean, it can ask, that's what React does. It says, do you want to propagate this name change throughout the app? And you say yes, and it goes through and puts it in, and voila, you're okay most of the time. This one doesn't do that. It just renames the app and then it leaves you to your own devices. There is a thing here that says sync namespaces, but it doesn't seem to do much. I mean, it makes some changes, but it still leaves a bunch of stuff screwed up. So I don't know. It didn't fix it for me. So this one is probably what, referencing something projects. Probably my UCL client. Yeah. What's wrong with that? Yeah, it could be. Well, UCL web.client exists, but it's probably referencing it through the wrong folder, so I'm going to have to remove. And then we'll have to add it back. Add project reference. Okay, now we're back. Oh. Yeah, you know, I think I've seen that. I mean, when I work with C# applications, I feel like it didn't have this much problems changing over, or you know, it would change it. It would do something like React did, where it says, you know, do you want to change this in all files or whatever, and then you say yes, and it would do it. I think I remember that. It's been a while since I've renamed a project even in C#, but yeah. Okay, so now I think we're back to seeing what I can do. Let's see what happens if I try to build this. Project started, and hey, 2 succeeded. I think we're good to start this puppy up again. That randomly putting a space between the @ signs and using is a definite bug they need to fix ASAP. That should not be. Come on, guys. That's just ridiculous. That's a big one to me. I can understand the issues with maybe the folders not existing right or whatever, but this one should not be. Okay, value unit cannot be null. What? It's not null. Secret key. Well, it's not. API settings. All right, well, it is coming back null, but why? Alrighty. go see what my... Oh, you know what? Maybe it does need that. Well, when I was talking to ChatGPT yesterday, it said I didn't have to add secrets to the configuration. It's supposed to have it by default, unless you're trying to change the order or something. Oh, my secret isn't in here. That's my app settings. But app settings and secrets are supposed to all be included. Unless my rename broke my secrets. My rename broke my secrets. I did not expect that. Rename breaks your secrets. Newsflash, do not rename your application if you have secrets, because it will not take your secrets with you. Holy moly, folks. That's a mega. That's a mega. Why would your secrets be deleted when you rename the application? I am seriously not sure what just happened. Why did that happen? I can recreate the secrets. It's just gonna be a pain in the tush. Huh. Nah, it's not gonna be that big of a pain, I guess. Just a thing. Wow. Yeah, that's a shocker to me. Okay, well, I guess I have to put them back. What is that? What? Huh. But where did it go? Did it just like, I mean, it's a JSON file. It's a hidden JSON file. So when you rename it, is it just like deleting the hidden JSON file? Huh. That is so bizarre. All right, I'm going to ask ChatGPT. Does ChatGPT know why it does that? Is there a reason for that? I'm going to see if ChatGPT knows the answer. No, you're right. I didn't. Find replace would have no effect on my secrets. And either should renaming the app. I should just keep them. I mean, it's just the secrets in a new app name, but shouldn't. I mean, it's not like I deleted the app and restarted. All I did was change the name. That should not happen. Why did my secrets disappear when I renamed my project, let's say .NET, I have to be specific, .NET 8 Blazor web application. I doubt it knows the reason. It's going to go, what? That's news to me. Why did my news? It's like, I don't know, man. That's interesting to use. .NET uses a unique identifier for storing secrets, often tied to the project name. If you renamed your project, the identifier used to store and retrieve secrets could have changed, causing the application to no longer find the secrets associated with the old identifier. The secrets JSON file is typically stored in a directory based on the project name ID. If your project name changed, the location that .NET looks for this file might no longer match with the new project name, leading to missing secrets. Oh. Well, there you go. There is actually a functional reason. So, open your CSproj file and look for the user secrets ID property. Ensure it's correct and update if necessary. Alternately, you can remove the existing user secrets ID tag and run .NET user secrets init to regenerate it. Well, I have a user secrets file. It just created it. Yeah, it is cool. It's cool that it knew the answer to what happened. I think that's now I'm trying to figure out, is it recoverable or do I just create it again? I mean, it might, I mean, it'll tell me what I'm missing. Obviously, I'm missing my API settings, and and I obviously need my API URL. So I'm missing uh, my path. But I wanted to put my path in my app settings anyway. To me, it's not as secret. I just want to put my secret keys and stuff in here. So we're gonna go, but let's see, steps to fix. Open your CS proj file and look for the user secrets ID. So, all right. I don't, yeah, that's true. I've been wanting to do that. I wanted to add a development app settings anyway. You're right, because I'm using localhost, and eventually it's not going to be localhost, but it might always be localhost while I'm developing. So I think that's a good solution. But still, I wanted my secrets to hold my keys, because the keys are gonna. I mean, I guess they don't have to be, huh? I could have a development. No. Well, I'd have to have conditional keys on my app API, on my UI. I'm sorry, my web API. Because then I have to say I need development key and a production key. And I guess it's pulling from. I guess I could. But how does it know? Yeah, if it's running in production, it's already running in production when I start it. So yeah, it would pull the right key. That's true. Then I can have different settings. Then I could have everything I do under app settings, including my keys. And then my secrets would only store my production keys. Nope, because settings overrides. I think secrets. Oh, I forgot. It told me the order of things. I think the app settings comes. I think secrets override your app settings, if I remember it correctly. Ugh. But you're right. But once you put it into secrets, I like my secrets to be held here, or my keys in my secrets. But there is no development secrets. All right, let's do that. I am going to have an app settings .development. Let's do that. New. Oh, let's just copy this one. And then we're going to go rename. Where's the rename? Oh, it's because I'm running. Can't rename it. Development. To app settings you want just because the new name conflicts with an existing file or folder. Wait, what? How is it? Huh? I don't see that name. Why? That's weird. Development. Okay, it says I have this file already. That is weird. Okay, so it must be a system file I have to add it by some other means. Totally weird. Okay. Where's the delete? I can't delete this file now? Exclude, get. open. All right. Huh. That is totally bizarre. Okay, I can't delete it. Can I delete other files? What the heck? It's not something wrong with my... There's delete on that one. I don't know what's going on, man. Even the regular app settings has a delete, but I couldn't delete the other one. That is weird. Okay. Huh. How do I add a development? It wouldn't let me rename it, huh? That is strange. Okay, so how to add app settings dot development to my Blazor web app. Because there must be some special way to do this. Choose JSON file and name it. I did that. Well, I mean, I didn't do that, but I mean, I basically did that. Unless it's like got some special process to adding a JSON. New item. JSON configuration file. That's just weird. I don't know why it wouldn't let me add that. App settings dot development. Okay, that's just weird. Somehow I must already have one. Blazor-based commerce product management tool for my client. They have a complex product setup process that generates tons of product variations. Huh. That sounds interesting. Gotta love things that have constantly changing prices. That's got to be a fun one for clients to deal with. Today it cost this much. Hey, yesterday it only cost that much. Oh, wow. Okay, that makes sense. I guess jewelry would change prices based on the value of the materials. Yeah, that makes lots of sense. All right, that's better than, you know, them just arbitrarily changing the price of their web application. But it's not letting me add a development file. Do I have one? When does it think I created one? Okay, that's totally not even the name of the folder anymore. Community ladder. UCL. Oh, here's an interesting thing. How is... Oh. They still have that stupid UI in there. There is a development JSON in here. How did I get that? I don't know. Did it just create it automatically and waited for me to add it? That is strange. All right. So we'll delete these. For some reason, somehow, I already had that. I don't know how I got that or when I got that, but I've got it. So let's just add it. Huh. Look, when I show all files, it doesn't show that file. It shows the new program file that's sitting right here, but it doesn't show the app settings development JSON file. It shows the bin folder. Huh. That's weird. Okay, well, let's try that again then. Oh, it's hidden? It's not hidden. Oh, I must be showing hidden files over here. That makes sense. All right, so let's go add. Add existing item. And we gotta go all the way down to here, keep repos, community ladder, CL web, CL web. Nope. It's not showing hidden. To the left of app settings, JSON. Under app set. Oh. Oh. Okay. How come I didn't even? Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Okay. That actually makes a lot of sense why it would keep them together, and it did. It's. I've seen that in other. My ASP.NET site did the same thing with web.config, where you had web.config and then you had the dev and the acceptance testing and the production ones underneath it. And I don't know why I didn't figure app settings would do the same thing. Yeah, okay. Makes sense. So it's there already. Yeah. Thanks for that, pointing that out. Thanks for slapping me in the face and go, wake up, you doofus. Pay attention. I don't know what new program.cs is, but pretty sure I don't need that. I didn't create it, so, I mean, I probably did create it back in, when did I do that? Back at the beginning of August. I don't know why I did. Oh, I know what that was. That was me working on a different version of the program.cs because I was trying to just do some side-by-side comparisons because I hadn't checked it into Git yet, and I wanted to see what my old one was versus my new one. And I ended up going a whole different direction anyway, so that was no longer necessary. This is a cool thing, though, this test HTTP. I saw a YouTube guy doing this, and it works. It's really cool the way you can like make calls to your code from within for like to the API calls and other things. So I was playing with this and implemented that. So that worked pretty. That's kind of a cool thing. I never saw that before. Then you can do things like go here and just say send the request, and it'll go call, and it'll just load it right here. I don't even have to start my app. All right, so we're back to where I was. I have to go put my keys back. I'll have to go grab my keys from my React app. You know, no, this isn't for mocking. This is more for just testing the APIs, making sure the calls work and that stuff. This HTTP thing is good for just making the calls. Like you want to see if your call works. You're different. It's almost like doing a little bit of your what do you call it? Postman. Like if you're using Postman, you can kind of make some of those calls right here in the app, and it'll work. And it's nice because it's coming from this app, so you can kind of see how the API responds to calls from this application. And then it'll give you the different responses. You can put different passwords in there, test out different users. Basically, it's just a way to make the calls from an alternate location. Yeah, with the mocking, I did some mocking with my other company. They were using mocks in their Angular application. Mocking is a weird thing. I understand the premise for it, but I also feel like it's not quite testing, because I feel like you're writing special code for your testing to read off the mocking. And I feel like, well, but is that the same structure as the data that you're going to be getting, that, you know, the real data? It feels like you're writing, you know, normally testing, if you, ideally testing is testing straight off your code. And I always feel like mocking is kind of like you're writing special code to work with the mocking, but it doesn't. So yeah, I probably, because I don't fully understand it, I haven't spent a ton of time on it. But I just know, like, one of the most complicated unit testing to do is unit testing against SQL Server. My entire application that I wrote at my last job was SQL Server. It was a SQL Server app. It had C# web pages that functioned, and I ran tests for that kind of stuff separately. But the primary application was basically a SQL Server application. It had multiple stored procedures and processes that all ran all within SQL Server. Now, to run unit tests against that, I had to basically run SQL Server stored procedures and all of their SQL that went with. And in order, in that case, you have to actually put data in a database, because SQL Server is a database. It needs to call. So in those cases, I was running true life data, because I didn't have to change any of my process code. I just ran tests that said, put this stuff in the database and then run the procedures. I expect this stuff to come back. So there was no mocking. But I could have set up mocking where I had like created a separate table or a separate thing that didn't interfere with my tables. But what I did is I used initializations that would put in data, and then at the end of all my testing, I had cleanup that would just remove those data. And it usually used IDs that were like, you know, invalid IDs for normal purposes, like they'd be negative integers or whatever. And I would just put all these values in. These are all my test scenarios, run them, see how things work, and then delete them. And so all of the real life data was never touched. It would only run against these particular records and see, okay, this is how it works. And that's probably a good usage of it. For mock, because you don't want to have your data in the back end yet. But again, it's like, I have to learn the workings of mocking. I mean, I think maybe my company wasn't implementing mocking right. Maybe that's what it was, because I really feel like they were writing custom tests to work with the mocking. But it's like, then if you're writing custom code to work with test data, then when you're actually running your code, is running against different data and it's not using your custom code, and therefore are you guaranteeing that the code that you have that works against live code is the same as that's working against the mocking? So, that's another one of the many things that's on the I need to learn list. Docker, because I see a lot of companies, they'll say, we need C#, we need SQL, we need React, we need blah, 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 all the different things they need. And one of them is always Docker, because Docker is it's what, the deployment tool or whatever. I mean, I guess, I don't remember. I looked it up one time, but I haven't spent any time with Docker. But I do know it's like a tool that's used with your applications when you're deploying them to various locations. So yeah. So it seems I have been streaming for, how long did it take me to start my timer? I don't think my Pomodoro is working. I know it's been more than 25 minutes, hasn't it? I think so. Unless I'm wrong. Yeah, it's been 45 minutes. So Mr. Pomodoro did not start. I clicked this, all right, to start, and my understanding was, it says start a Pomodoro timer when you start a time entry. At the end of Pomodoro interval, you will receive a notification. So I don't know. I obviously did something wrong in starting this off. I obviously don't know how to use my my timer here. So if I close this, thing, and then I go back up here. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe I did this wrong. Extensions. Oh, timer. This is the opening. All right, is it not? Oh, see, it says it's running there. But it's not. It is doing something. So do I have to... Oh, there's a Pomodoro setting right here. It did start this, but it's like it's not showing anything. Oh, that just takes me back. How do I... All right, how do I go back? It takes me back here, and now I'm stuck. Is it like gone? It just disappeared. Okay. A green test, you can then remove the mocks and implement the actual code. Oh, so you're saying that you replace the mocks. You run the mock, you create the mock to work, and then you replace the mock with the actual code. So it's like the mock is your TDD, your testing setup that just returns expected values, and then you replace that code with actual code that's going to return those expected values. But you still have to provide some kind of dummy data, right? So that it would... Yeah. That's one of the things I want to start doing in my apps, in these apps. But, you know, it's kind of like... I need to get a base set up, I think, before I can start implementing TDD. I want to start doing it. There's a bunch of... I've used MS Test for my TDD. I liked it a lot. And I assume you can use that in Blazor. I don't know what I'm going to use in React yet. There's a couple of them. I think there's one called Playwright. And there's also another one my company was using too. I hate when people do that. That was driving me nuts. Fake it till I make it. All right. Well, I mean, a lot of times when you write tests, right, they fail immediately. I mean, if it's true test driven, you write tests first, and you say this is what I want to happen, and then, of course, it fails because it doesn't exist. It can't do that stuff, and then you try to put in the code until it works, right? And then you, like in your case, you're making the mock to make the test pass, and then you make the make all your tests pass, and then you go, okay, now I'm going to go back and implement those. And I can see that approach. I think, but isn't there a disadvantage? I mean, aren't you like writing code twice? I mean, you're writing mock. I don't know how this mock tool of yours works, for one thing. I mean, you mentioned mock, what was it? You said it was, use a mock. You said wire mock. And there's a lot of them out there, frameworks for doing stuff like that. And in fact, I think some of them are even built in. Probably MS Test probably has, or there's probably some mocking tools already built into Visual Studio. But and again, oh man, I really messed up my back. And then when you sit too long, I tend to relax. And when I relax, my back bends. And when it bends, it gets stiff because I'm doing that. Oh, third-party APIs. Ugh. Okay. Got to sit up straight so I can stand up later. That's the thing. If I don't sit up straight, it's going to be tough to stand. You know, the only, GitHub's got, I didn't realize how much you could tie into GitHub. I mean, there's a couple of things you can do. Like when I was using Azure, we were using Azure to communicate with, when you're doing the deployments, it would go get the code from GitHub and then it would deploy it, which I thought was really cool. But I didn't know all that stuff. Yeah, well, it's not the chair that messed up my back. It's me doing stuff that I shouldn't have done. Okay, so I'm going to stop my timer for a minute because I'm about to go off my topic here. I might as well not have a timer running that says I'm working. I'm trying to, and I do this. Don't, not your fault, but I'm gonna explain what I did to myself and what's going on. And plus I need to figure out how to use my. I like Pomodoro timing, but what I don't understand is why this takes me here and then it doesn't give me a way to go back. That's kind of weird. That is so weird. So I have to, if I want to manage my Pomodoro timer, I need to go. How do I? So I go to extensions, and then I go here, and I'm on the toggle track. Productivity, toggle track, productivity time tracker, extension options, remove from edge, show toolbar. Let's show the toolbar for that. Maybe that's what I need. Ah, there we go. There we go. That makes it stay on top. Aha! There we go. Let's see how weird it's doing. Let's stop this. And maybe when I restart it, it'll work. I'll start it from here and see if that starts the timer correctly. Yeah, that's what I do. Okay. So what I did to my back, all right, so I work out all the time. I work out 6 days a week, pretty much every week. So I get up early in the morning, usually between 5 and 6, and I'm doing something. Lately, I've been doing a calisthenics program, Cali Move. Trying to learn how to do things that are more body-oriented, where you know, muscle ups and flag, which I can't do any of those things. I can't even do a handstand, okay? But I feel like I have the strength to do a handstand. I can't do a human flag. I don't have the strength for that. I think I'm missing the core strength for things like human flag or even... and muscle ups, I've had shoulder issues throughout my life, so I started doing this to try to strengthen up. So my shoulders have improved quite a bit. I've actually got a lot stronger in my shoulders. I can do a lot more with these things. Still can't do... If I try to do a muscle up right now, you may or may not be able to see my pull-up bar in the back. I smack my head on the roof because it's on the ceiling. It's only this far from the ceiling, so my head goes up above the bar and that's it. But anyway, so I've been trying to do handstands, and I'm in this state. It's like the third phase of this calisthenics program, and I have 2 tables stacked up behind me with a block behind them that leans against the wall, and that's how I'm trying to do handstands. I get disoriented when I'm upside down. Now, what does this have to do with my back? Well, when I'm leaning against the wall, and I'm trying to get myself vertical in a handstand position. And again, I get kind of weird. I've been doing this a few days a week for about 15 minutes, trying to get it. I'm getting more comfortable upside down. Still not real good. I've noticed I video myself and I'm kind of crooked still. I'm still leaning. Obviously, I'm not going to get anywhere near a handstand if I can't get myself to vertical. So I'm getting closer and closer. But one of the things I've been doing is I put my feet up against this thing and I push one leg back. So I'm like that. So now I'm bent backwards, and a lot of my weight is sitting on my back in an arch. And I've noticed my back has been getting sore when I do that. And the longer I'm in that position, as my shoulders get stronger and stronger to hold me, I've noticed that my back is getting more and more sore. No, I don't think it's vertigo. I mean, I get a little uneasy on heights, you know, but only if I don't feel stable. If I feel like I can go to the Space Needle and sit against the edge and I see it's high, it doesn't bother me. You know, I don't wig out because I feel like I'm secure in the position I'm in. But I might get a little uneasy if I'm sitting if I'm up on a you know, a wobbly height thing, or I don't like to be on roofs because I don't feel, even though the ground is stable, I'm at a slope, I'm trying to trust in my, so yeah, I get a little wonky if in certain situations, if I don't trust the position I'm in. And I think that's where it is. I have a hard time trusting in those dangerous situations the things that are holding me. Like, usually it's me. It's like, do I have enough confidence in myself? Like, if I'm on a roof, I have the strength to hold myself up and stay on the roof, but I get nervous. I don't trust that I'm going to hold my balance. I don't know why. It's a weird thing. So when I'm upside down, I'm trusting in my arms to hold me. Now, I can do micro push-ups when I'm upside down, and I can stay there for like almost a minute, and I can do micro. I call them micro because I'm not doing full push-ups. I go back and forth. Just because, again, I'm upside down and I get nervous. So I think what's been happening as I do that and I push my leg back, I'm putting an extra arch in my back, and it's been causing me pain. And my back's been sore lately. And then it's kind of, it was getting a little bit worse each time. And I know that the Kali move shows you how to do it correctly. You're supposed to keep yourself straight, and it even says don't overarch your back. So I'm obviously breaking that rule simply because I'm trying to make myself straight by way of leaning against the wall. Now, if I could get my body to be straighter, my back wouldn't arch so much. And that's part of what's going on. Yeah, and flattening your lower back helps when you tighten your core. So my core is probably not as strong, but because I'm purposefully bending my leg back and forcing myself to arch my back, I think that's where I'm getting the problem. I have a measuring tape against the table that shows me how far away from the table I am, and I'm getting better, but I still think I'm putting a lot of pressure on my back. And I think yesterday it just got to the point where I went out and I played pickleball with my wife and daughter. We have our own court, and we play pickleball outside. I just finished building it, painting it, so it just was feeling kind of sore, but I said, I'm just going to play anyway. And it got worse and worse and worse and worse. By the time I was done, I was like, okay, this is hurting a lot. But of course, I didn't want to let my wife and daughter know that I was messing up my back playing typical. My wife's back is already bad, and my daughter's out there, and I'm like, I don't want her to think both her mom and dad are having back problems. And I'm usually the fit one, right? So I don't usually have problems. I don't usually have these things. And my wife's gonna have surgery in a couple weeks for her back. I mean, she's got like a slip disc or something. I think I just have been straining mine, and I need to let it recover. Anyway, I got up this morning, went and ran 4 miles. Well, I ran 4 miles on the treadmill. And the first mile or two, it hurt. Yeah, exactly. Typical male. But it hurt for about a mile or two, and then it loosened up, and I was good to go. But I wasn't sure, so I didn't want to run outside. I was afraid of, it getting worse. And then at 2 miles, I'm stuck 2 miles from home, and I'm like, uh-oh, I'm going to limp home now. But no, I've done it before. I've injured my back before, and usually if I start slow and work my way up in speed, my back loosens up and I can stay. And as long as I'm in a vertical position, it doesn't bother me. But when I go and sit, again, when you sit, if you start relaxing, your lower back will start to arch out just because it does. Even with good lumbar support, if your butt's not far enough back, it's not pushing into your lower back and keeping you upright. And plus, as I start leaning forward and doing stuff like that, I'm bending. So every now and then you'll see me get up, and I have to let my back stretch and get straight again. And then I got to put my butt back, lean against the back of the chair, so that I'm keeping it straight and stop leaning into it. And if I sit like this with my core tight and my butt back and keep everything straight, I can get up and be fine. But if I let it relax too much, those first few steps after standing up are like, ow, as my body's like, trying to bend back. I am a person who won't stop. Like, if I get up tomorrow and my back still hurts, I'll just run again. Because it's one thing I know I can do. I'll loosen it up, I'll get warm, and I can do things like pull-ups and other things that don't force me to use my back consistently. I won't be able to do my handstand stuff. But that's okay. I'm a person who will find other exercises that don't put strain on the injury, because that's how I keep moving. I don't like to have one piece of my body tell me that I can't do anything on the rest of my body. But needless to say, that's why I'm complaining, and that's why I'm groaning when I move, because it's not quite right at the moment. So yeah, that's part of life, I guess. Why does that keep going away? What good is the timer if it keeps disappearing when I click on something? Is it supposed to disappear like that? Is it at least sitting on the top? Where did it go? It just vanished again. So I go, well, all right, so I can go here. Maybe it just vanishes when you start it. All right, let's go back down here. We'll start this one. Let's see what happens. There's a timer. Okay, so now it's working. That's weird. Okay. I think that was a 5-minute break, huh? At least. So if I click on it, does it just disappear though? It does. Look, it just disappears. Where does it go? I mean, I just have to click on this to make it come back? That's weird. Why doesn't it stay on? I'd rather have it off screen or something. It just... Oh, wait, what does this button do? Oh, that probably opens toggle track. There are some things I don't quite understand about this. Open toggle. Sync. Sync what? All right, well, yeah, I'll just put that down here. Let's run this. Oh yeah, I gotta go put my keys back. After all that talk, I gotta go put my keys back. So now I have an app settings.json for development. So let's put in my API stuff. I could do that with, I'm just going to copy paste. What is the name? Got to make sure I put the right name in. Program.cs, enter secret. I know you can't see it, but you know, I'm trying to do best practices. Don't stream your keys. I know it's just development, but again, you know, best practices. Okay, that one's back. Probably other stuff I'm missing. Oh yeah, I'm missing the path, I know that much. My base URL. So let's go ahead and do that. Create my base URL. I will create it. That one will definitely put in the development. Oops. Base URL. And the base URL is my local API. Okay. Now, what do you want to do now? Type of movement you do to unwind? Sync your profile. Oh, something totally broke. What is that? Signed in the device. We've signed you in to Microsoft. Okay. Whatever. But there's something missing here. An unhandled error has occurred. Yeah, I gather something's not right. Something blew the heck up. Alright, let's try the old reload. See what that does. Alright, well, let's go inspect. It's not giving me a whole lot. My console, like I said, I gotta figure out how to get my logging right. But see, everything's out of whack here. Yeah, we definitely lost some formatting. So, alright, who's missing? Who's missing stuff, team? Somebody here is choking. You know, I do find that sometimes, or at least I have found Blazor, stepping through a startup is tough because really it just goes down. It just goes down the builder stuff, runs the API, says run, and then it does it. It doesn't like take you into any of the pages, which is weird. I mean, I guess I have to put a break on a page, but air home. It's probably home, huh? And there's no code there, and that's already there. That's not the problem. I think it's my my main layout nav menu. That's the one that's breaking. On initialize. So something's choking here. I don't know what, but something is choking. Unhandled error. And the thing is, it won't show me what the error is. I tried to... Private. Is there an error showing up down here? There's a thread, information. Debug at app. Sync your profile has exited with code. The thread one has exited code. Because it is an accessible. Alright. Can I clear this? How do I clear this? Log. Clear. Oh, okay. CSS hot reload ignoring because it was inaccessible or had more than 5,000 rules. Okay. Bootstrap, I don't know what this is. The thread.net TP worker has exited with code 0. That is totally not helpful. Oh, let's see what that shows. Keep alive monitoring. Browser link? What is all this? Oh. I don't know what that is. Framework, Bootstrap, images. Huh. Connection disconnected with error. Server timeout elapsed without receiving a message from the server. The thread.npt worker. Is this a ChatGPT problem? Let's see what this is. I don't know what that is. Yeah, but I'm getting a weird load. It's not loading correctly, and that's what's throwing me off. Something is broken. I'm supposed to have, this is supposed to be formatted way better than this. And I am not getting that. And my console is not showing me anything. It's kind of... Connection disconnected with error. Server timeout elapsed. A message from the server. So alright, let's clear this one more time. If I get that same error again. Yeah, that's just it. This is my browser console. See, it's not showing me anything. It just says WebSocket connected, information normalizing Blazor to Blazor. That's it. My console is pointless. It's not showing me details. React shows me a lot more stuff. And I'm maybe it's because I'm missing stuff, or it just doesn't have it. I don't have my console logging set up right. Console settings. Select context only, preserve log. No, there's nothing there that I'm... Verbose. Let's do verbose. We can close that up. You don't think it's nav menu? Nav menu is the part that's missing, though. My whole nav bar is gone. That's why I thought it was in the nav menu, whatever the problem is. This is all the competitors component is. In fact, I don't even think that's just the home page. It's not even a component. Yeah, all that is text. That's on my home page. That's all this is. It's the home page. I don't yet have a competitor's component. This is just me coming to the home page. There should be a nice little pop out with blue borders, and it's all part of the side menu. And oh, maybe it's... So I got the main layout, and I've got the images, ladder, competition 2. I feel like there's a path broken, probably from my changing the name of things. Yeah, this is the main layout file right here. But learn. It's not much here either. Main layout. Unhandled error has occurred. Why is that the part it's showing me? Reload, dismantle. Oh yeah, huh? It's triggering whatever this is. The div. Why is that even in there? That is what it's showing me. An unhandled error has occurred. Reload. It's like it's just put in there as code. So there's something triggering it. But it's still missing stuff, so there is an error. Then is app.razor. Well, that's possible because I actually did put stuff in app.razor. I thought I did. All right, UCL web. This is style sheet. UCL web. Oh, you know what? I wonder. Let's go see if that got wonkied. Where's my style sheets at? UCL web. .styles.css. Got app, bin, debug, images, bootstrap, min. Yeah, it's not here. It's the bootstrap, images. Bootstrap, min.css, that's there. App.css, that's there. Style sheet, that is not there. But why would it? Oh. Well, we do have all these guys in existence. It's funny that neither of these is. Why are these guys? Are they hidden? Are they not supposed to be in the project? Why are they showing up as not in the project? Oh, they are there. That's weird. They look grayed out. It just, yeah, they're there. Never mind. It looked grayed out like they were not in the project, but. So this is definitely my CSS stuff. Huh. UCL web. Okay. Disable. Where is my home page? I think it gave me all this junk. Import accessor, invalid user, login, razor, external. Yeah, I'm under pages. Oh, no. Let's see. Imports, access, confirm, external, invalid, foreign, logout, H, reset, invalid. Oh, here. Oh, there it is. That's right. That's the account stuff. So we have page title, home. My home page is very generic. All it is, hello competitors, welcome to the Ultimate Neighborhood Ladder. That's all it is. And then I have, what is this thing? Oh, it's the demo component. What is that? Again, this stuff, is it the demo component that's loading stuff? I don't even think I need that, but it's doing something. I don't even see the demo component. It's obviously calling it. Can I go to this? Go to definition.
Kenneth, here is your reminder. Put the towels in the dryer.
I gotta do that. I had to remind myself because I always forget and leave them sitting in there.
Put the towels in the dryer.
Quick actions. Go to implementation. Wait a minute. Where's that at? It won't take me there. All right, let's type up here. Demo. There it is. UCL web. Oh, interesting. It's in the DLL folder. It's like it exists in the build, but I don't have the page. Huh. Oh, that is weird. Why is it taking me to GitHub? Okay. Demo. Hello competitors. Current ladder is current competitors. On initialize. Is there some bad reference here? Join the fun. Current ladder has. Okay, so that's all the same. I mean, there is no references to anything in here. And demo components about as doesn't have anything either. Comment it out. Okay. Yeah, see, it's still the same. It's so weird. It has to be, it has something to do with my renaming. It has to, because this stuff worked. Yeah, I mean, just yesterday it was fine. I came in, renamed stuff, and of course I broke everything. This is why you don't rename projects, Ken. Don't do that ever. You make a decision when it counts. Don't change the name. Ugh. Oh, you're saying turn on interactive WebAssembly? What I wish this would do is give me more useful information in my console. Why is my console so dumb? It's not telling me nothing. I mean, in React, every time I got an error, it would say, this is your error. This is what's going on. This ain't telling me anything. It just says unhandled error. Where, what? Oh, God. I don't like this. Check my warnings. See this hot reload ignoring WebSocket. No. See, this is all yeah. Let's see. All right, let's start this again. Let's see what it says. Loading, 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 verbose. Loading, loading, loading. Information Blazor, because it has access. The only thing it's complaining about is that bootstrap. Information WebSocket connected to whatever. That's it. I could go to this verbose logs. Let's go see what that has. Ugh. Messages, metadata. All right. Errors. Hey, my Pomodoro thing worked. told me I have a thing. Okay. The type name or namespace demo does not appear in the namespace. It does not have a namespace defined for it. I don't know how it... It is one thing. It is not saying it's inside of the namespace. What is the reference to? I don't even have a using or anything. How is it even calling the demo? So, are you missing an assembly reference? Well, I could be. So we have the dependencies in here. Projects. Well, yeah, that's what this is. Unless I have it referencing wrong. Add project reference. Get repos, ultimate community ladder, UCL web UI. Alright, let's take this off. Let's just go browse for it. See if that's different. UCL web UI. UCL web client. Yeah. How come it's not showing it? Oh, do I need to? Oh, you know what? I wonder. You know what? Let's try building my client again. I don't think I've tried to build my client because it doesn't have a DLL. It might not have a DLL defined for it. I thought I built the solution, but maybe I only built my project. If I only built the project, it might not have the project reference correct. But that is the right one. UCL web client, UCL web client .cs proj. Yeah, I do that too. It could be after all the renaming and stuff, you know, things can get. But I thought I already did this because I remember getting the 2 succeeded, and there's only 2 projects in this. But who knows? I didn't do a clean. Does clean do anything? I mean, I don't even know what clean does. I've always wondered what clean does. Because there's build, rebuild, and clean. Does clean actually get rid of old references? Maybe that's some, and then it builds off the old. I mean, I don't know what it does. Do you know what? I probably could just ask ChatGPT. It would tell me. I think that's kind of what clean does. I think it's supposed to. Ah, look, we got it back. It was just a build issue. But I think, didn't I comment out something though in my demo, or in my demo page? Yeah, I gotta put these back. I mean, I don't want stuff to be weirded out. Where's my uncomment? Now it probably won't let me do that though. I have to do this. I don't even know if this does anything. Yeah, woohoo is right. It was just a build issue. I apparently did not rebuild my client app, and that kind of broke everything because of the references of all the renaming I did. Am I finally able to get to the task that I was supposed to do? What did we learn? Don't rename your application. Just live with it, man. You're stuck. If you want to go forward, just change the name once you go forward. I've done that before, and I think every time I've ever changed the name of an application, it's proved to be more headache than I wonder if it was worth. It's just too many things involved. But one, if you do major changes, make sure you rebuild everything in advance. You know, rebuild everything. Even if you don't think it's connected, check your references. You know, all those things have to be done before you can expect things to work exactly, you know. So, yeah, it's live and learn. Hopefully we learned so we can go on living. All right, let's try this thing. Let's see what happens to my code. I still want to figure out how to get console to be more useful. Like, okay, so I did, and I obviously did something wrong, or maybe I didn't do something wrong and I just haven't gotten to this point, but I'm going to close these now. I'll probably need that one again, but let's go here and compress some stuff because I have way too much stuff expanded. All right. Now back to my ACL web, and we'll compress that guy. Don't need him right now. Don't need him right now. Okay, I think this actually has my login. Here, it's login razor. Okay, so I'm doing my login stuff here, and I have API auth login. I'm doing all these steps, and I also put in this logger stuff, login from trying login. This stuff is not showing up, so I did go into program.cs because I was trying to set up, you know, my console logging, and in program.cs, you know, you do go in and you set up your logger, which I did somewhere here. Is it this one? UCL configuration. Oh, logging right here. So I put these guys in to try to get my logger to log at console, but it didn't put anything in, so I don't know what's going on there, but I should. I'm going to leave this one open. I like this open. Oops, I'm relaxing into my back again. I can feel it. So now I got to force it to straighten out again. Yikes. Okay. Ow. Sit up straight, man. What are you doing to yourself? Pin it. There we go. Solution. Now we're going to go back to my... Oh, you mean this? Put this stuff in the program.cs of my client? That doesn't even use program. Oh, it does use program. I thought it used startup. Maybe. But will that pass up? I guess I don't know exactly what's going on. Let's see. Maybe. Let's run it. Let's try it. Let's see what it does. Oh, see, add console is not even an option here. Of course, am I missing something? What other piece do I need? Configuration. Builder. Yeah, that doesn't show up in the client project. Add console is not a valid logging option. It does have clear providers, whatever that was supposed to do. All right, where is? Let's go back to my buddy. Hey, ChatGPT, got a question for you. console attempts to log information to console are not working. In my .NET 8 Blazor web application, I have added the following 2 lines to my program.cs, but it does not seem to work. Your program system web application and logging is still not working. There are a few things to check. Verify that app settings JSON and app setting development JSON contains the correct logging information. Oh, I have to add those. Oh no, I do have. Wait, I do have that. Logging, log level, default information, Microsoft warning. No, ASP.NET warning. Hosting lifetime information. Interesting. All right. Well, I am missing a little bit of this stuff. I guess I could try to add these guys in. Why not? I have ASP.NET, Microsoft at ASP.NET core warning, but I don't have Microsoft. I mean, I don't think it matters, to be honest, but I'll take them both. Why not? And Microsoft.hosting, that hosting.lifetime information might be thing, because that's the maybe on the client project. ChatGPT Blazor web app add console logging. Simple prompt. I got answers to specific client side. What's that prompt? I got answers to specific client side. All right, let's go back to my program.cs. Well, all of the stuff I'm doing is on the server side, so that's why I can kind of tell, because see how this says web application create builder? And that's right here. But when I go to this one, it's WebAssembly host builder create default. So the client integrates builder differently than the server. The server is using a different call. So I can kind of tell that it's talking server side on mine. Because if I do the client side, this always ends up being the way you declare builder. So it's a slightly different declaration. Yeah, my demo's in the server. Oh, yeah, but I'm not doing anything in demo. Demo's not part of my code right now. I'm working with login, and login's in the server side. All demo is this little thing. That's all it is. So I don't even think it's doing much. I think if I say join the fun, it starts adding numbers onto here. I believe that's all. Yeah, see, that's all that's doing. Hey, I joined the fun. My number goes up. I was just playing with some sample code. That's how I got this to do that. But it's not functionally anything. The login is what I'm working with, and this is the one I'm trying to get more logging to work. So I gotta take this out. I'm surprised that even ran, because I had this broken thing in there. My login is happening over here on the client, on the server side. Okay, so, and then when I go here and I have my login page, which is right here. So I go to login, and then I go down here. And see, I'm calling my logger.log information, and nothing happens. Nothing happens. It doesn't even show up here on this server. It's just like and I don't know, maybe I'm not even getting here. I would expect I'd get here. Something would happen. Because just when I click this button, I'd expect to see trying login, and nothing happens. So I'm gonna do it. Just go here and then I'm gonna go get my ID. Oh, you know what? I didn't do. I didn't stop my timer, and now it's running into negatives because I didn't. That's the problem with trying to do the Pomodoro thing. You should stop when it tells you to stop. I mean, that's the whole point. It gives you that break point. But you know, I also hate stopping in the middle of stuff. So I got to this login. So theoretically, if I go inspect right now, and then I go to my console, and I go ahead and hit past this, something somewhere should show this. All right, it went past it. Now, I expect to see trying login on something. Neither my console is showing it, or even this thing is showing it. It just ignored that line completely. But I got a lot of these. Whatever these exited code with 0, what does that mean? What link? Oops. Let's help you get connected. You're connected to the internet. We didn't find any problems. Okay. Alright. That's not my issue here. I don't know what it's waiting for. Blazor web app add logging on static SSR. All right. You can follow these steps. Program.cs. Program. We got that. Got that. Both of those are there. Builder.build. There's development. Use developer exception page. I don't know if I have that. I do have the app JSON stuff because I put that in there. Logging log level. If you want information from your SSR component pages, inject a logger into your component. Logger.log information. Inject, yeah, I got all that because that's how this is connected. So I got the inject loggers up here. Logger.log. Well, it's logger.login, but it's logger because it's index. And then we got index page loaded via SSR. And then we got logger.log information, which is what I'm doing here. Trying login. Do you think that my inject login needs to be called login user? It's not based on the code though, right? Because index is just the text. I mean, you can call it whatever you want, right? Login is the app, or no, it's the file name, login. What is index? What is login? I'm looking at this console. Clear console. This is the one I look at when I'm doing React. But that could be that it's not. But I'm also looking at this output here, which is this console. I try to see if it shows up here, because a lot of junk shows up here. But and if it shows up here, whatever. I mean, I'd rather it show up here, but apparently it can't. Is there another console here? I mean, I just use the output. Isn't that the console? I would expect it would show I mean, this, like in, there's a lot more different separated things. Like when I run PowerShell in React, it puts all the logs in the window that you started your app from. But see, these ones don't do anything. And then it has an output, which I guess is supposed to be the log window, because just things keep running here. I keep seeing stuff pop up here, but nothing actually my logs aren't showing up here. So I don't know where that log information is going. Is there like another console? Is there actually a console view that I'm missing? Console, code, class, terminal, toolbars, other windows, code, class, no, there's nothing. There's nothing in here that's console. So this has to be the console, right? I mean, what else would it be? Debug, solution, output, razor logger output? Nope. Build order. Logging.add debug. Okay. But see, my information didn't show up here. There is nothing. Can I like... Okay, so I don't like some of this stuff. Is there a way to clear out some of this junk? To not show some stuff? Loaded. Like all the loaded messages. Is there a way to like filter them? I mean, I can get rid of stuff, but... Build order, debug. How about debug? Well, that's the one I was already on. Okay. IntelliSense, package manager, razor logout, solution, build. No. Razor logger output. Oh, okay. That one might be good. Well, I could clear. But I mean, this is funny because this is razor logger output, right? And this is the same thing the console shows usually. Well, when it's not currently in a state of blown up. All right, let's run this again. All right, I'm just gonna restart it because apparently I've got me a state of wonkiness. Okay, so this is a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to go to login. And I'm going to go to razor logger output, which I would think that's my logger, right? That's the logger I'm working with. So I should go here, and when I go home, go to login, and I go, and okay, so go there. Copy, paste, turn on my inspect because I just want to see what it shows. Turn on the console, make this not so, I guess it doesn't have to be worried about it. Let's hit enter. Right here, F5, Blazor. My post failed. I did actually try to post, it looks like. I mean, that's something. Account login. Explore console errors by using Copilot. Oh, that's not going to help me because it doesn't have any idea what that is. And then local favicon ICO. Still didn't show me where it got because I didn't get any logs. Try the above builder. It's the output window, that's right. So there's nothing there. Nothing's coming up. I mean, I guess I could look at the debug again, but there is this. What is this one? System.net HTTP says system private core lib. Skipped symbols. Module is optimized and the debugger option just my code is enabled. Skip loading symbol. Module is optimized and debugger option just my code is enabled. I don't know what that means. System HTTP request exception. I mean, this could be partially failing at the login, right? I mean, that makes sense, but no connection could be made because the target machine actively refused it. I did start my AMG authorize, right? I did start it. It's running. I did not start it. Well, that's a whole different problem, but I do need to start it. It didn't actively refuse it. It didn't even know it was being called. It's going, whoa, wait, what's going on here? All right, well, that's a problem, but that wasn't the problem. All right, so whatever. I don't know, this is bugging me. Why doesn't it show up? So this is where it's actually calling, and this is where it could, well, see, oh, it even succeeded. Look, it did connect. It says I got a successful connection. And then we go there, and then I'm supposed to be saying users logged in, which should say something somewhere. But again, nothing. It's not showing me my logs. It's driving me bonkers. I could probably go over here and see it, I bet. Oh, maybe not. Just says logger. Information system. It's not giving me any clue as to why it doesn't want to show me anymore, but whatever. Alright, so then we're here, and let's go here. And then we're going to go in, we try to set the cookie. Doesn't seem to have a problem with that part. Now we're going to go my drip bearer token name, which I do believe I have, so it should go okay. Token name should not be null. It is not. Looking good there. So we go here, and then we're going to go ahead and, I don't know, set my cookie. Now we're going to say, hey, look, we saved it to a cookie. And it's going to go, yeah, no, we're not going to tell anybody that because it's a secret. It's like it's not going to do it. So everything looks like it's working. And then I'm supposed to navigate home. Now this part, does this work? It did. See, everything's working. At least. It navigated me home. I am supposedly logged in, but I don't get it. I don't get to see any log process. Right at the top. Oh wait, yeah. See? Right there. Injecting. Accounts, pages, login. Yeah. And then I use the logger thing down here. Logger information. But okay, whatever. And more. Right, let's go look at this. Inject. So I assume that this is referring to this page because it's index, and this is the index. Make sure your log levels, information, warning, and error are set appropriately based on the importance of the log message. This ensures that during production, unnecessary logs are not cluttering your output. Okay. Advanced adding custom providers. If you need more advanced logging, you can add custom providers such as logging to a file, a remote logging service, or a database. This setup will allow you to capture logs during SSR process in your Blazor web application, which can be crucial for debugging and monitoring server-side operations. maybe I could do something like that, but it just seems like a hard route to take, right? I mean, it's like, okay, I can put it in a file and maybe open the file. I might want to do this just to see that it's even logging. Let's see if it will log to this. Is the problem it's not going to the console, or is the problem it's just not doing it? So let's see. I'll copy this. I may have to actually go find a different file location, but for now, we'll put this here. Logs, my app, date. Well, I'm going to call it my app. Well, let's call it, what is it? UCL. UCL log. That's under logs. That's good enough. Yeah. But add file didn't work. Why didn't like that? Builder logging dot add file. It didn't like add file. iLogging builder does not contain definition for add file. That might be something I have to do on the other side, on the client side. But the client wouldn't work on it because you can't just write that to the client. All right, so iLogging. Oh, what is it? iLogging builder does not contain add file. iLogging builder does not contain add file error message. Well, then why did you suggest it, man? It says it's not there. Well, you just said I could add it, and now you're lying to me. Now, it's like, oh yeah, wow, we just made that up. All right, let me try this again. I'm going to rename. Maybe it didn't. Let's try this again. Let's see. I am getting iLogging. I did spell that right? iLogging builder, yeah. Builder does not contain add file in the provided line above. Nope, it's saying you have to add other stuff. Okay, but yeah, that's totally different. Because now you're adding Serilog and logging.create logger log. Huh. That's weird. It's like it gave you this example of what you can do to add file. And when I get the error, it just says, oh yeah, well, that's because it's not there. Did it just make this line up? Does this... What? Because all of these examples don't call that way. They set up, write to console, write to file. This is different though. See, it's using Serilog. I guess I don't know. Do I want to use a different logger tool? Run and check output. Well, this ain't gonna work. I gotta get rid of it. That's gotta go. How are you injecting? Weird. When I right-click output, I can disable certain messages. Do the above test. All right, well, let's see what you got here. All right, it's VS Console. Logging dot add debug. Where are you putting that in? All right, so you have, it's VS Console logging dot add debug. It's the output window. That's right. Try the above. Try the above builder. Oh. Run and check output. Right click output. Right click output, I can disable certain messages. How are you injecting the iLogger? Oh, I see it. You take out some of the stuff. Oh, I see what you're saying. Take out the load messages. Don't want that. Take out the unload messages. Let's see. Process exit messages. Thread exit messages. Program output. Exception. Well, we want all that. All right, let's try that. Now I'm going to clear this thing just to make my life cleaner. And we're going to stop. It's still weird. This shouldn't be this complicated, really. I mean, all right, so we're starting it up again. And we have the logging going. It's a little less stuff popping up all over my screen. That's good. Now we're going to go over to login. Then we're going to log in again. And then it's going to go here. I'm going to hit F10 to see if anything happens. No, nothing logs as usual. And program.cs, okay, program.cs. So logging.debug, builder.logging. Oops. Logging.debug. Add debug. All right, let's do that. Development, listening. Verbose logs are written to. It is saying it's actually logging stuff. I mean, it's logging it out to this crazy file. That's that file I was looking at before. Add this. Logger.log information test. Oh, just do it like right in here. But it's not built yet, right? I mean, the logger doesn't exist yet. Can I, because I don't think I can actually just go logger. Oh, I can. Logger dot, no. It has to be builder, right? Builder dot. Oh, are you saying put it in the console? Probably that will test if I add this then. I don't have logger defined here. Like maybe in here. Logger dot log information test. Yep, that worked. So the logger works sometimes. Apparently under the ideal scenario. It didn't put it here, or at least not by the time I checked. WebSocket connect. This one's throwing me off. I don't like this error because it was inaccessible or had more than 5,000 rules, which it should not. But yeah, it does show the test. So logger works, but it's not working here. So my inject may be wrong. Okay, so all right. Let's be more specific with what I'm trying to do. I have a login.razor page that I am trying to include logger calls to log information to my console. However, this is not working. Below is the procedure that is calling logger. How about below is the login.razor page. All right, we're just going to do all of this and see what it says. Whoops. The code in your login razor page looks correct for logging information using iLogger. However, if the logs are not showing up in your console, there are a few things you can check. Make sure that your logging configuration, you should have something like this. I do. Clear providers, add console. Yep, that's there. Okay, check the log level configuration. Again, I have both of those in my app settings, which is... I know, but I hate... I don't know. I know sometimes they're standard things and they are what they are, but it still bugs me. It's like... Alright, so, alright, we have default information. We have Microsoft warning, and we have Microsoft hosting.lifetime. All of those exist. So verify console output in IDE. Ensure that your IDE is configured to display console output. This should be visible in the output window and the Visual Studio Code. It should appear in the terminal window where you're running the application. Well, we have this already. Ensure your IDE is configured to display console. In Visual Studio, this should be visible in the output window and in Visual Studio Code. It should appear in the terminal where you're running the application. Test logging directly. To rule out any specific issues in logging our razor page, add a simple logging statement directly. Yeah, that's what we did, and that we proved. Ensure the inject is correct. The inject directive seems correctly used in your login page. However, if you face issues, you can double check the service registration in program.cs. Add singleton. Let's go look at that. Maybe there's something weird going on there. Add singleton. Add razor components. Add singleton UCL configuration. I have that. And then add services.razor components, which is here, I think. Just, yeah, add razor components right here. Add interactive server components, add interactive WebAssembly components. Just some extra stuff, but if logging is not working, check if there are any errors in the browser's developer console or the server logs that might indicate issues with the Blazor component rendering. If you have custom middleware in your application, ensure that it's not interfering. My app settings? Sure. Why not? See? This is my development JSON. I'm going to look at my other JSON. I wonder if I have conflicting values. Let's go look at the root app settings. See, that's got a logging level too. It doesn't have some of those items. So I'm going to get rid of this. I mean, it shouldn't, because development should overwrite this, but it's got logging. See, I got my app settings. This is the app settings, the base one, but development should be change this to information. I mean, really, I have ASP.NET Core, but I don't even think this one. It's not even using ASP.NET Core in this one. I don't know why it's even. I mean, I don't know what the difference between. Right, but shouldn't I be able to call all of them? I mean, really, I should be able to call error, information. Do I have to? I mean, oh, is it like it's priority? Like if that's the base level? So if you say information, it'll log everything more severe, but nothing lower. So if you have, that's probably why it's saying information for default. I don't know. What is the Microsoft and Microsoft Host lifetime ones? But I don't know. Are they like different? Is it like if it's a Microsoft error, it'll show you warnings only? If it's just me putting it in, it's information and above. Maybe that's okay. That kind of makes sense. So it's the base level of the what it is, the minimum message level that you'll accept. Which is weird then. Why does it even have the default information then? And why does it even show one? That's what I don't get. I'll make these the same. Or maybe for this one it should be warning, right? Because maybe I don't want some of these logs in there. I don't know. Fix that later. So we'll make a match for now. Let's see what that does. But I'm still curious why it won't show up. Maybe it won't. Maybe I have to pass them up somehow to get them to show up in my console here. It's still kind of weird to me, but. All right. Wait, this is running, it says. Where the heck is it? Oh, it's right here. All right, so I may have to restart to get that to trigger. Huh. Okay, well, that's good to know then. I thought it was singular allowing, so it's like if you want. Okay, so my understanding was wrong, but it's good to know that it's actually based on the minimum log level. So, okay. I'll see, there I guess. That's something I learned today, that this is based on minimum log level. So if it's too low, so you want information if you want everything you put in. It'd be nice if you could like, I mean, I'm more likely to want the information because I'm putting information in than warnings, which to me are just like the code just giving you like, hey, this might be a problem. You've got a null reference possibility here, that kind of stuff. Sometimes I'd almost rather ignore the warnings than the information. Now, of course, I want errors, but to me, it should be like warning is the minimum, information is the next. Because information is me putting it in, and that means obviously I want it because I put it in there. Oh, okay. So by taking it out, I'm going to have information. Okay, that makes sense. So you're having specific calls at different levels. So you wouldn't even need default if you're putting in ASP.NET Core because it's going to override it anyway. All right, let's see what happens with my code now. All right, so we got the little test thing. Now we're going to load up. Now we're going to go to login. And we're going to say login. And then we're going to see if this does anything. Hey, trying login. I think we got login. Now, of course, this is probably not putting it in my console though, right? No, I didn't think so. So whatever works, doesn't put it into the web console, which is probably because it's on, I guess, the client side. React doesn't have any limit that way because you can do Blazor side logging. All right, so let's see what it did. Where'd it go? Did it, wait, where's my trying login? Oh, user logged in. Druid token saved a cookie. Hey, it did it. Druid token saved a cookie. Ah. I mean, I could probably live with this. When I'm using Next.js in React, it'll log, when you say log, it logs at both places. But the thing is, it's a slightly different thing going on there. I mean, things work differently in the React Next.js world. So it's kind of like you're working with server on Next.js, so there are limitations, but there are certain things that it'll just pass up to the client side. So when you run it, it puts it up on the code. But I feel like if you're running, like I wonder if there's a way here that I could inject this into here, right? Because we are doing things up here. Like if there was a way to have this read what I want logged, you know, like I log in and then I say, well, inject that log information from here. I mean, you don't have to do that in React, but I'm learning the differences. Because obviously there, I mean, a component looks the same in React. I mean, you have your UI elements, even on the server side, the Next.js stuff. You have your code elements. But when you say console.log, it puts it in here. as well as in the VS Code console log, but you get it in both places. And here, it's not passing it up. It doesn't know how to write it to the log. So you're right. There's probably some other settings, some other things I have to do, but it's just things I haven't figured out. And I don't mind using this, but it's just a mindset difference because I'm used to being able to inspect my code and just watch it come down. I don't know, maybe because it looks better. I like it because it'll actually put the pink for the error and you can just go straight to the errors. Here it's like I'm looking at it going, it's just a bunch of white text and I have to read and find what I want. So this is one that's bugging me. Is there a way to get rid of the thread .NET TP worker has exit code 0? What is that? All right, ChatGPT, I need your help, man. Tell me what this means. What does this mean? In this case, the exit code is 0, which means the thread is exit. Oh, so it's a successful thing. So it's not even a flaw. Ugh. How about I get rid of the exit message? Just show me stuff that matters, man. Yeah, I got rid of that. Okay, so that's. I don't. If it's gonna. I mean, I want errors. I want things that I want to see, but I don't want that junk because it's just cluttering up my life. Oh, thread exit messages. Now let's turn off both of them. I don't need them. I don't know what exit messages are. Thread and process. Because it's still going to show me. Well, nope. Oh, exception messages. Yeah, and then of course. Hopefully that's good. I think I've got it, man. I think it's finally working out. I don't think these buttons work yet because I haven't actually implemented my register yet. What does this do? Oh, that's some errors. But we have the cookie being saved. We have it coming in, logging in, and responding. And it sends me back to the home page, which is awesome. So now I need to do a little bit of extra stuff now to make sure that it does something cool like change login to log out and say hello so-and-so. But that's something. We are definitely making progress. So I think that's a good break point. A good break point for me to take a slight lunch break. For me, it's 12:30 here. I know for you, it's what, about 4 o'clock there? I think you were like way off at me. You were at 5 a.m. So you're in the middle of the night somewhere. So you're what, 3 a.m. right now? Because you were yeah, I was close. Okay, so 3:30 a.m. which makes sense because it's 12:30 here, so 3:30. Okay, so man, you got a couple hours left, but I'm going to take a break. Probably about 30-40 minutes. I'm going to come back and try to make this actually read the cookie that I've now logged in successfully to. I've got everything working. I've got logging working. Process is happening. You know what I might do is I think like one of the goals I want to do with this stuff is not only learning, but eventually come back to my streams and download them and each thing that I learned, compress it into a single like YouTube thing, you know, just like this is how you do X and go through like here I set up logging and it was a pain in the rear because I had to disable this and like you say, set the logging levels and maybe even explain why I had to do certain things like this don't have ASP.NET Core there or explain why login levels are what they are because you're telling me, but I'm thinking somebody who's never done it before is going to have the same problem, right? They're going to be going why and what, and they're just going to be doing stuff. But sometimes having a little background kind of helps. So, and I've done a lot of these little steps that have taken me like a half a day or a day to figure out, which are probably a 10-minute video. It's like, do this, and this, and this, and you're done. And it's great to have ChatGPT show me how to do these things. But, you know, I like YouTube. I think the YouTube videos are very helpful, especially when they're in succinct chunks. And not everybody uses the chat AIs. And sometimes you have to be too specific and you're always asking more and more and more questions. Now, you know, I think what would be nice if ChatGPT and all those other things would say, you know, give you possible links. Say, this video has a similar question. Perhaps this could help you as well. You know, give you the answer, but then say, this video has a similar, maybe this will help you as well. Because sometimes, you know, having somebody explain it to you, have a video that actually steps through, could be an additional resource that I would click on if I knew that there was some other option out there that might be telling me the same thing. Now, of course, ChatGPT is saying it has a similar request. The OLMs would need to train on video transcripts. Yeah, well, no, I don't think it would need to do transcripts. I'm just thinking it could read titles. You know, do a search. The same search you would do, it would say, this has a similar title. It might be helpful. Yeah, it could read transcripts and try to figure it out, but I think that might be getting way into the weeds, and yeah, that's 5 years down the road before we're able to do that. But I'm thinking, like, they do lack context, but the same way you search, right? I mean, when you go and do a search for how to do something in Google, you just ask a question and then it gives you video options. But I'm just thinking ChatGPT or whatever they are, say, hey, these videos have similar questions that might be of option to you. So kind of giving you the Google response for these videos, as well as giving you the answer. It says, this is how it is. These might be possible additional resources, that kind of thing. You know, just kind of give you that, well, maybe, you know, if you don't fully understand, maybe those videos will explain, or, you know, something. They may not be helpful, but at least you get that Google feedback too, that little extra. I think it would be good. I would use it because I do like videos and I do like ChatGPT, but I think if you can get both back as possible responses, you know, one, you kind of help out the user who's asking, but you're also helping out those guys out there. But ChatGPT doesn't care about the people. But maybe those YouTube videos help. Some people, I like them, and I do go to them on occasion. Okay, so I'm gonna take a quick break. It's 12:30. I'm gonna stop, and I will be back maybe between 1 and 1:15. So you have a good one, Richard, and maybe I'll see you then. If not, till next time, take it easy.